Coming up, everything you need to know about OCAST, and Fab Lab is bringing new things to life. This and more on Perspectives. Hello, I'm Sam Jones. By now you know state lawmakers have been called into special session to fix a budget hole the governor knew was coming years ago. So did a number of state senators and representatives. And how did they know? Well, for years they gave away the farm with tax cuts and breaks to big energy. I heard the other day that one of the candidates for governor is saying that third graders must be able to read at a third grade level to be promoted. He also said the same should be true of math. Now, this same fellow is also saying he hadn't been convinced that state government needs more money. These wise observations are coming from Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb. I guess he hasn't been told about the very deep financial hole that has essentially brought Oklahoma to its knees. Also guess he hadn't heard about cuts to education that are so severe every district in the state is facing major problems. Oh, and while I'm on the subject, Republican Representative Michael Rogers is saying school funding shortfalls are fake news. Does that sound familiar? Rogers just happens to be the chairman of the State House Common Education Committee. The sad part of this is both will probably be supported at the ballot box. And the problem with that is we don't need legislative gimmicks or another shell game, which has been going on for years. You suppose Mr. Lamb or Mr. Rogers might address that? I doubt it. Well, one Tulsa resident who, in my opinion, has given this city and this state more than I have time to list today is saying that there's a way out of this financial mess that we're facing. George Kaiser wrote an opinion piece in the Tulsa World last May, one that pointed out many areas that need action and how to go about it. He listed a series of myths that the legislature seems to be enjoying. My word, not his. Myth number one, we're a high-tax state. Myth number two, low taxes generate economic development and prosperity. Myth number three, our budget can be balanced by eliminating waste. Myth number four, our budget collapse resulted from the decline in energy prices. Myth number five, if we restore energy taxes to historic levels, companies will move their drilling to lower tax states. Myth number six, the energy industry already pays more than its fair share of taxes. Myth number seven, the low gross production tax rate benefits Oklahoma royalty owners and producers. Now, hang on with me just for a moment on this one, because Mr. Kaiser points out that over 70% of the benefits go to out-of-state shareholders of publicly held companies at the expense of Oklahoma taxpayers. Myth number eight, the legislature is united in support of the low-tax ideology. Again, another myth. Mr. Kaiser says the general public knows that we need to save our schools, our hospitals and roads, stem the migration of our youngsters, and attract businesses looking for a place that's safe and invest in education and infrastructure. Well, freshmen and female legislators and a majority of the rank and file understand that. Our legislative leadership should listen to the wisdom of the people of Oklahoma, and I agree. You see, my opinion now, outside special interests are controlling Oklahoma's future, and they're laughing at all these dumb Okies. I truly wish Oklahomans with the character and vision of Mr. Kaiser would run for and be elected to office. I understand why they don't, but boy, wouldn't it be something if they did. As for Mr. Lamb and Mr. Rogers, I think Will Rogers said it best, and I quote, "If stupidity got us in this mess, how come it can't get us out?" And it's me saying, here we go again. And that's my perspective. Up next, an idea that's been around for quite a while. Now it's up and running, and the associate director of OCAST is here to explain why it's important.